is in absolute shambles. Sunrise on the Reaping. Second time's the charm, guys. Why is there a rat just diving towards this kid's face? What's up, guys? My name is Natalie, and welcome to my Nook of Novels. In today's video, I am going to be spinning my wheel and choosing my September TBR, but I am also going to be participating in the Orilium Fall Semester Equinox Readathon that is hosted by G from Book Roast. So I will have that announcement video linked in the description if you guys want to go check that out, or if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it is linked down there. You don't inherently have to know much about that readathon at all for this to make any sense. I'll kind of explain things as I go here. If you guys are interested in that, or if you guys want to go watch that video, I'll have it in the description box. I'm so excited for this video because I love readathons. I haven't done one in quite a while now, and I'm just really excited to jump back into one and hopefully have some fun with it. Hopefully actually be successful with my reading for once, because please do not ask me how my reading went last month. It did not go well, or the month before. Honestly, the past few months has literally just been me like spending most of the month finishing the book I was reading the month before, and then not even really getting a chance to even graze my TBR. So it's kind of just been the same story over and over. But throughout the last few months, I've definitely read a lot of books that I feel like I have really enjoyed or have been really productive. So I have been having a good time with my reading overall. It just has not been looking very great for these monthly TBRs. With that being said, I'm not really going to go into any of last month's TBR because I basically didn't read any of it. So we're just going to ignore that, and we're just going to start over right now and choose my next month TBR and have a fresh start, if you will. Before I jump into the wheel spins, I am just going to start by kind of going over what I want to read for the Magical Readathon specifically, and kind of what reading prompts I need to fulfill for that readathon. So the two main careers I was kind of deciding between were Math Magician and Tome Binder. Tome Binder just kind of fits slightly better with my TBR. Two of the prompts from each of those careers were harder for me because of the books I have on my TBR. So Math Magician, there's a prompt that I have to read a book with the sun on the cover, and really the only two books I could have chosen for that are Sunrise on the Reaping. Back to what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted. Sunrise on the Reaping has the word sun in the title, so I could have used that one, or I could have used Ender's Game because you could kind of see the sun in the background, and that was like the only other one that I felt like counted. But honestly, like, I'm not really wanting to read either of those right now. And then one of the prompts for Tome Binder was a book with an autumnal setting, and there was a book that kind of fulfilled this that I felt like I wanted to read more than the books from the other prompt. So I'll go ahead and show you what that one is. Hey kitty, hey kitty. So that is Where She Fell by Caitlin Ward. This is a middle grade, I think, about a girl who kind of falls through the earth. She just like falls into a hole, and there's this kind of fantastical civilization just beneath the ground that she finds, if I'm not mistaken. So I've had this book for quite a while, and it's never really stood out to me that much. I haven't really had like a crazy pull towards this book, but I'm definitely interested to read it and kind of see if I like it. The reason I say it has an autumnal setting, so this first page, first of all, has a bunch of leaves on it, and on the back as well there's like all of these leaves all over the ground, so that definitely gives off autumnal vibes. And this was really the only book I had on my TBR that I felt like fit that, aside from The Grim Legacy by, I don't remember who that's by actually, but that one does have like a tree on it with leaves falling off. But I kind of want to read like the original Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales before I read that, so I decided to just go with this one for now. So this is a book that I'm going to be trying to get on my TBR using the wheel. Aside from that, there's nothing really super specific that I need to read to fulfill the prompts for Tome Binder, so I'll go ahead and go through what the rest of the prompts are here. So first of all, the classes that I need to read for this are, I need an O in Art of Illusion, an O in Spells and Incantations, and a Q in Inscription. So if you guys don't know what that means, don't worry about it. That's just kind of how the prompts work for the Magical Readathon, but those just coincide with the prompts that I'm going to tell you guys. Any strange sounds that you guys hear from anywhere, it is definitely the cat. She's having way too much fun right now, and I'm honestly jealous. Tome Binder and Math Magician both only have 4 reading prompts for them, so I have to read 4 books. I really wanted to go with the easiest one that I possibly could because I feel like being successful for once. I feel like actually trying to complete all the prompts, and it's not that I usually don't try to complete all the prompts, but I just have not been successful recently with my reading as we've been over, so it's more fun when I actually have a chance to fulfill all the prompts and succeed. So that's why I'm going with an easier career with easier reading prompts for this month specifically. Like I said, this is my autumnal setting book. The next prompt is roll a die and read that page bracket. So for example, it rolls a 1. You have to read something within the 100 pages. So anything from like 100 pages to 199 pages. If you roll a 2, it has to be 200 and something pages. 3 is 300 and something, so on and so forth. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll the dice for that. I'm not going to pick a book for it right now because I'm going to also be spinning my wheel, and I feel like if I pick a book specifically right now, it's going to make it harder once I start spinning prompts from the wheel. So I'm just going to have the number in mind for right now and use that to try to spin things on the wheel. I'm going to screen record this. I'm going to roll, and 1. So I have to read something that is 100 and something pages, which feels very, very difficult. I don't know if I actually have anything that would work for that, but I'll look through my shelves, I'll peruse for a minute, and I'll let you guys know what kind of options I have for that. So it looks like my best bet for this prompt would be Saga Volume 11 by Fiona Staples and Brian K. Vaughan, because this is 153 pages, I think. It's 150 something. This is definitely like a really good option. I mean, my boyfriend have been making our way through the Saga series, so this would definitely be like a really easier one, a great contender for this prompt, and that's one that I am pretty likely to pick up in the coming month anyway. Some other options we could do are like Magic Treehouse books, poetry collections, things like that. There are a couple other shorter things on my TBR as well, some other little middle grades and things like that, a couple classics, but Saga is the most likely thing I'll pick for that, but we'll just have to kind of see like what the wheel chooses. I would assume that Saga would be what I would go with. We also need a book with a prime number of letters in the title. So I have lots and lots of options for this one. I made a whole list of every book that I own that has a prime number of letters in the title. I'm not going to go through the whole thing right now, but I will be just kind of referencing this list as I spin my wheel and letting that kind of help me to decide on books for wheel prompts. And then the next thing is kind of a similar thing. It's a vertical spine title. So a book that the title on the spine of the book, instead of going like sideways like this, it goes like up and down, where you can read it looking at it vertically. There's not as many options for this one, but there are definitely some good options, especially with things that I do need to prioritize in general. So the main 2 options for this one more specifically are The Hunted by Charlie Higson, because again, it goes vertically, and then From a Buick 8 by Stephen King, because this one also, it's really small and you can barely see it, but it is vertical. So either one of these would work for that prompt, and these are things that I do really need to prioritize. So that is all for Orilium prompts right now. Obviously, I'm gonna talk more about those as I spin the wheel. I am gonna spin the wheel 5 times this month. School has just started back, so I'm not 100% sure kind of how I will manage 5 books in the month of September, especially because my biggest priority on my TBR is still Ruin by John Gwynne, which is absolutely massive. So I'm just not certain how things are gonna go, especially with how things have been going the last few months, but we are just gonna go with 5 and I'll see what I can manage as per usual. I feel like 5 is a reasonable number if I'm reading mostly shorter things, but obviously that hasn't been happening again, so we're just going to do our best. We're gonna see what happens, and we're gonna spin the wheel and have some fun choosing our September TBRs. So as always, I need to prioritize series. I will be taking that into consideration, as well as the secret video I've been working on for months and months. It's the same story, you guys already know. Without further ado, I'm gonna hop over to the wheel and start spinning. Hello everyone, and welcome to my wheel. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing 5 spins, and as per usual, I will have to add a spin every time we land on the same space twice in a row. I implemented a little prompt thing last time, so this is my stack of prompts that I choose from to replace the ones on the wheel, but this is excluding the prompts that I chose last month. I think I have a boyfriend pick picks back in here, but that's the only one. So all of those prompts are going to make their way back into this stack after 3 months. So that is my way of trying to keep this refreshing and not have the same prompts come up over and over again. So everything that I pull off the wheel during this video is going to go in that stack that will go back at the end of October. So again, just trying to keep things fresh, trying to not be extremely repetitive. I feel like that's a little bit of an oxymoron because I just said that twice in a row. I don't really have anything else to add right now. Again, every time I spin this, I will be keeping in mind the Orilium Readathon prompts and my priority TBR, things like that. So without further ado, I'm just gonna go ahead and do spin number 1 for the month of September. Okay, so something that I do is if it goes all the way to a certain prompt and then spins back, if it's able to land on this prompt on its own, then I will choose whatever it went back to. But if it's not able to land there, then I will choose the one that it started to go to before it went back. But the thing is, from the angle that I was watching that from, I couldn't tell if it went all the way to adaptation or not. So just for the sake of like keeping things simple, I'm just gonna go ahead and pick this prompt for this book in bad condition for this prompt. So that's a little bit of a harder one, I would say. Okay, so this prompt was actually a lot harder than I was expecting it to be because I just don't really have a ton of books that I would say are in bad condition. Most of the ones that I have are just like that because they used to be my brother's. He doesn't really care about like cracking spines or things like that. But if I'm reading a book, I'm so careful with it. Like I will not crack the spine. I will not bend any part of it if I can help it. So, and obviously when they're just sitting on my shelves too before I've read them, there's not much that can harm them unless like I've bought them used. Some of them have like a little like tear here or there, but they're not really in bad condition except for these two that I found. And this one like kind of is, but I'll get to it. So the first one is Dreamcatcher by Stephen King. This one is in absolute shambles. Like, this is probably the worst condition of like a book that is still readable that like exists, honestly. Like this is horrid. This one obviously definitely would count for this prompt, but this is obviously like a really chunkier book and not great for a readathon. And I don't really think this works either for the Magical Readathon prompts. Not really a great contender for this month unless I wanted to start it at the end of the month and be reading it in the start of October during spooky season. That would be super fun, but I think not right now. I think probably this is not a great choice here. And so then the next one I have is Peter and the Starcatchers by Dave Barry and Ridley Pearson. The spine is cracked in 3 separate places, possibly 4 or 5 if you're really like looking at the teeny tiny little creases there. This part is bent. Up here is like kind of not great. So compared to all the other options I had, which is not a lot, this is one of the books that I have that are looking worse for wear. So I think I'm gonna go with this book because again, this is really the only one I could find. I think I might trash this prompt after this because I didn't realize how hard it would be really. And honestly, book in good condition too. That's pretty much all of my books, really. Yeah, I might just do away with those because the options are few and far between, like I said. But Peter and the Starcatchers also has a prime number of letters in the title, so it would work very well for that prompt as well. And this is one that I've had my eye on in general recently, which is good. Yeah, I'm going to count real quick again just to make sure about the prime numbers. Yeah, so there's 23 letters in the title of this book, which is a prime number. I checked. So I'm honestly really excited about this. Also, the back of this is so interesting. Like, why is there a rat just diving towards this kid's face? Like, I'm so intrigued by that. I really want to know what the hype is about. I mean, obviously it's not really like, this isn't a crazy hyped book, I wouldn't say, but someone did tell me recently that they loved this book. And so since then I've been dying to read it. So hopefully September will finally be the month. So adding this one as the first official book from the wheel on my September TBR. And putting this book in the trash pile. By trash pile, I mean that's probably the only one that's gonna end up there because most of my prompts I like to hang on to and keep. So we're gonna switch out that prompt for this one, which is plants on the cover. And this one has definitely come up recently as well, but what can you do? Moving on to spin number 2. Okay, that one I know for sure landed on adaptation before moving over, so we are going to go with the adaptation prompt. So this is anything that's been adapted into a movie or a TV series or anything like that, or even a video game. I don't know. I don't think there would be any that have that, but just something that's been adapted into any other form of media or vice versa. Okay, so I picked out a few options. The first one I have is Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertine. This was adapted into a film called Love, Simon. For a second, I thought the dude from that was Nick from Heartstopper, and I was like, wait a minute, but it's not at all, so never mind, ignore me. So I know this one was adapted. So we do have that as an option. We also have All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. This is the movie cover, so this one was most certainly adapted into a film as well. This next one kind of feels like cheating a little bit, but this is the one I do really want to pick for this prompt because it's the most efficient option for sure, and that is 4 by Veronica Roth. First of all, this one is shorter. It's a library book, so I need to read it so I can take it back. So the reason I feel like this is cheating is because it's a novella from the Divergent trilogy, which was adapted to a movie, but this novella wasn't, but it's from the universe that has movies for it. So I feel like it counts, right? And like I have seen these movies as well, and I haven't seen the other movies. That doesn't really help my case at all. That's not really relevant. I don't know why I'm bringing that up, but I just want to read this. I need to read it. It's a priority. I would feel better about having this on my TBR versus the other books. I've been wanting to read it. I've been meaning to. I've been needing to. Like, it's just been a high time that I read this book already. So I think I'm going to go with this one because I just want to. It mostly counts, right? Like, it's pretty much within the prompt. I feel like if I can make an argument for it, then it counts, right? And this is within a universe that has been adapted, so you know, we might be stretching it, but it's there, you know, the logic is there, you can see it, right? So I'm gonna go with 4 by Veronica Roth for this prompt. Now I'm gonna go ahead and switch out this prompt for question mark. Okay, so this is a scary one. If question mark comes up, then I will just pick a prompt out of the stack, and that's the prompt I have to fulfill. And so the reason this is scarier is just because I can't see the prompt before I pick it out, so it could be biggest book, and I won't even know until after I've landed on the space. So I don't really have any time to like mentally prepare for whatever is about to happen to my monthly TBR. Moving on to spin number 3. Okay, that was another one where the angle, I couldn't really tell if it landed on middle grade first, but I really don't think it did. So that being said, we're now gonna have a 7-book TBR for the month of September, which is great news. Well, I don't have any book to pick for this one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and switch out the prompt. We are going to go with this one, if I could find it and grab it. There we go. Highest alphabetical. So if this one comes up, then I will open up my Goodreads and sort by book title, going from A to Z, and within the top 3, I will choose between those. Spin number 3, take 2. Second time's the charm, guys. Lowest alphabetical, so the exact opposite of what I just explained. Also, if you guys randomly hear like a humming sound in the background, I think it's literally just cars driving past. Loud cars pass by here all the time, and like I don't know why. They're always so loud. My bad. I would turn the volume down on them if I could, but obviously I cannot, so my apologies. Okay, so here is my Goodreads sorted by title, and I'm gonna go ahead and reverse that. And, oh, you know what? I already knew what this was. Okay, this is great news. So the top 3 choices we have for this are a Chainsaw Man book, You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty, and Wrath by John Gwynne. So I'm just gonna not pick Chainsaw Man for right now because me and my boyfriend are still reading Saga, and we're just not gonna worry about that one for right now. This is one that I would love to read. I am so excited for this book, but not right now. I think the power move here is to pick Ruin by John Gwynne. Obviously Wrath is the one that came up, but that's the 4th book, and so whenever that happens, it's just whatever the next or first book in the series is, depending on, you know, where I'm at in chronological order, and this is where I'm at in that series. So I just need to read this. I have to. It is high time that I finally continue up. Is that a phrase? I don't know. Continue with this series so that I don't, again, have to start over because it's just so inconvenient. These are so big, and I think once is plenty enough times to read these for right now. So putting Ruin by John Gwynne on my monthly TBR. And that one does not work for any Orilium prompts, but I'm honestly not worried about it right now because we still have 4 more spins to go after this to fulfill something with an Orilium. And we already have 1 prompt fulfilled. And that one was a prime number of letters in the title. So we still need something within the 100 pages. We need a book with a vertical spine title, and we need Where She Fell to fulfill the autumnal setting prompt. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch out this prompt for this one, which is a paperback book. Spin number 4. I don't know what is up with like the balancing of this wheel. It worked at one point and evidently it does not work well anymore. However, newest published is where we landed because it can't land on that space. We've been over this. I'm not going to explain it again. I'm going to pull up my Goodreads once again. This one is really, really interesting because I do not get like new releases very often. So this one could be really anything. Obviously, like it would have been Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, but I'm already almost done with that. If I wasn't reading that, that would have been one of the options, but now I'm not so sure. My predictions are the Grimoire Grammar School Parent Teacher Association, because that is one I recently got from Barnes & Noble, although I'm not really sure how recent that one is. Remarkably Bright Creatures, I'm not really sure when that one came out, but I know it's been buzzing around recently, so I feel like that one's more recent. And beyond that, I don't really know. So we'll find out together. In my Goodreads again, we're gonna sort by publication year, and we're gonna go the other way. Okay, so I was kind of right. Okay, we can work with this for sure. One of the options was Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I'm just not going to pick that one right now because my roommate is borrowing it from me and she's still reading it. So I'm just going to wait until she's done with it. I'm not like in a hurry to get to that book at all. So I'm going to wait on that. My prediction was correct about the Grimoire Grammar School Parent Teacher Association by Caitlin Rozakis. Yeah, I mean, this is a recent book that I hauled from Barnes & Noble. It seems right up my alley. I'm definitely very excited about it. Looking at it, it does seem to be more like Halloween type of vibes, so I might want to wait until October to try to read this, but at the same time, I have nothing against reading it right now. I'm not opposed to it by any means. I'm definitely very excited for this book, so this one is an option for sure. But then Watch Me was the other book, and that's way far into the Shadow Me series, but the book that we're on right now is Unravel Me by Tahara Mafi, and we're not even halfway through this book. And me and my boyfriend get through books really, really slowly because we don't always have a ton of time. It's just me reading the book to him, so it's definitely a slower process. So I don't even know that I would finish this book by the end of September, but I definitely would like to try for sure. I'm really indecisive, guys. I guess because I'm going to be reading this book anyway, it feels more productive to choose this book and give myself a little bit more wiggle room in terms of the rest of my actual TBR, especially with Ruin on there. I don't really want to be adding more pages on there than I already need to, especially when I've already started this book, and so I'm going to be continuing with it anyway. So I'm going to go with the smarter, more reasonable choice here, and we're going to go with Unravel Me by Tahara Mafi. But this is definitely one that I will keep in mind for the month month of October because of the spookier kind of vibes for it. Putting this one on hold for now, and this is going to be my choice for the month of September. Now we do have a lot of more productive things in this stack. I would say between like Ruin, Unravel Me, and 4, those are all things that I do really need to prioritize. So I feel like we're good there. And yeah, now I feel good kind of just putting whatever I need to on the TBR from here on out. We'll just kind of see how things go as we progress. So we are going to go ahead and switch out this prompt for this one, which is a hardcover. I feel like I keep getting like opposites that come up on this wheel because we have highest alphabetical and then lowest alphabetical came up. We had paperback and hardcover. Still a lot of things going on here. So spin number 5 out of 7. Okay, so this one is a middle grade, and I know exactly what I'm going to pick for this one. Where She Fell by Caitlin Ward, because I need this for the autumnal setting prompt for the Magical Readathon. So adding this to the monthly TBR. This one's a shorter one as well. It's like 200 and something pages, so this one should not be too time consuming at all. Switching out the prompt, we are going to go with, okay, I definitely thought I threw this prompt away. It's Bookfinity recommendation. I'm definitely throwing that away. I'm not putting that back on the wheel because I don't want to. It's just a lot to do for a single prompt. Like, you have to go through this whole quiz, and then it recommends you a lot of books that like aren't even really on my TBR. So it's just a harder one for me to fit my physical TBR books with. So I'm just doing away with that one. So we are instead going to switch it out for entire series. So if this one comes up, then I will have to add an entire series to my TBR. Spin number 6 out of 7. Okay, so it looks like it is on long chapters. Okay, wait. I have something I want to pick for this. I don't know if this is necessarily cheating or not. I'm just going to look through some other options real quick. Okay, so I've come to the conclusion that I am, again, going to stretch this prompt a little bit because the book I want to choose is Saga Volume 11 by Fiona Staples and Brian K. Vaughan. And this is a graphic novel. So are the chapters really long? I don't really know. So first of all, I don't really know what the average number of pages would be for a chapter of a graphic novel. And they definitely won't take very long to read, but it does technically have longer chapters because this book is 153 pages long and there's 6 chapters in it, and I did the math. That averages out to 25 and a half pages per chapter. That's long for me. Like, I would consider a book with longer than 10 pages in every chapter. On average, I would consider that to be longer chapters, whereas like less than 10 I would say is shorter chapters. And so that's well above 10. So it meets the number. I need this for the Orilium prompt within the 100-page margin. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Saga Volume 11 to fulfill this prompt. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and switch out the prompt for this one, which is Random Spinner. So I have a Random Spinner app on my phone with all of the books that are on my TBR on that. So if that one comes up, then I will spin the spinner 3 times and choose between those books that it chooses for me. We are on spin number 7 out of 7, unless I land on add one book or random spinner again. And if I land on an entire series, I'll have to pick multiple books for it. So we'll see what happens from here. So spin number 7. Okay, so this is definitely an easier one. We got paperback. So for this one, I am going to choose a book that is both productive in terms of completing series and it fits well with the Orilium prompts. So I'm going to go with The Hunted by Charlie Hickson because it fulfills the vertical spine title prompt. It is a paperback and it is a series continuation. So this seems like the best option for my September TBR. Here's my stack of books, and it's honestly not too terribly intimidating, especially when we consider the fact that 2 of these are things that I'm going to be reading to my boyfriend anyway, so I don't really have to think too much about those in terms of what is going to be my current read or next read or whatever. So if we take those away, the stack is only this big, which is honestly, like, that's not bad at all. The only concern I would say is the fact that Ruin is something that I feel like I need to read as soon as humanly possible. But with Orilium, like, I feel like I should wait until the end of the month to start that. But then if I do that, I'm not really going to get a chance to read a lot of spooky books during October. So basically anytime I read Ruin is going to be inconvenient. So I may as well read it sooner than later is what I'm thinking. So I might try to start that one as soon as I can, but we'll kind of just have to see how things go, see what happens, see how I'm feeling. But yeah, those are all the books for my September TBR, and I'm honestly really excited about the things I was able to pick for this. I feel like it is a really good selection, and I'm excited to have Peter and the Starcatchers on here as well. That's one that I've been kind of thinking about for a while, so very excited about that one. Hey Claus, kitty, Claus. Before I head out as well, I'm going to go ahead and switch out the last prompt. So we're going to switch it out for this one, which is new author. So this is new to me author, so any author that I have not read from it previously. Okay, and I think I didn't land on the same space twice in a row at all throughout all 7 of these spins, so definitely very proud of that. I feel like that is definitely something that is very rare and hardly ever happens, so very exciting news there. But yeah, and then all of these prompts, so middle grade, newest published, lowest alphabetical, add 2 books, adaptation, paperback, and long chapters. We will not see these books in the stack again until the month of November. So say goodbye while you still can. These guys are going to go away. But yeah, so that is it for my September TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then please hit the like button and subscribe if you would like to, and hit the notification bell if you would like to see the other videos that I post on Thursdays with reading sprints on every first and third Monday of the month. My Bookstagram, my Goodreads, and my book talk will all be linked in the description of this video if you guys would like to check out any of those, as well as some of my most recent videos, including my doing a push-up for every page I read for a day, and my weather app chooses my reading for a week, as well as just some other recent videos will be down there as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video and being here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!